All right. So today, I'm going to share with you the fourth reality. The only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duty, all selfish thoughts and desires. The only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. Now, I thought that was an interesting one because I was contemplating it and going, I don't actually know what is selfish. What does that even mean? So, that sent me on a little journey, and I want to share a quote with you. So about selfishness. And Baba said, service to the master is an ordeal which tries the body, mind, and spirit. The body suffers, the mind is tormented, but the spirit of the selfless servant of the beloved, of the master, experiences the bliss of true satisfaction. And I just thought about that, and it kind of put it together as like selfishness for the sake of oneself. That's what it means in some sense, to be for the sake of your own self. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, how do you even live in the world then? Because everything is for the sake of yourself. I mean, everything that we do is just, it's selfish. There's nothing about it that's selfless, right? Right? But with that quote, it kind of puts it together. It says, okay, service to the master. And then I thought, well, okay, what if then I could be in service to the master and allow things to be through me, not of me. And I think when it's of me, that's very selfish. It's like I'm creating my life. I'm doing it the way that I want to do it. It's all for me. But then if I can somehow release that and say, well, actually, I would rather my life be in service to my beloved, service to the master. And that leads me back to this fourth reality. The only real renunciation of that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. And I thought, okay, well, what is a selfish thought? What is a selfish desire? And it would be any thought, any desire that is coming from that place of me, for me. And there's also a quote from the Bible, I think. So this is the quote from the Bible. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? And so, this is just one, it's like an international translation, but the idea there seems to be that you need not worry about your selfish things because you're more than all of that. And then there's another element to it that was, consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storehouse or barn, yet God feeds them. How much more valuable you are than the birds. And that right there is the service to the beloved. So we come back to the only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. So it's the idea is, this is what I'm getting from it, right? It's just my own perception, is, okay, so he's saying to abandon my own wants for his wants. What does he want? Instead of thinking, what do I want? Oh, well, I want this, I want that, I want that money, I want that car, I want the. What does he want? What does he want? What would he want me to do? What would Baba? What is the deepest place inside myself that I could that they could be from him? What could be from him? Basically, it doesn't have to be so deep, but what could be from him? What does he want? And then it's like, oh, that's the abandonment. That's how I abandon. That's how I renounce myself. It's not by just going, I renounce myself. Like I renounce myself, and then you're just walking around. No, it's okay. I'm renounced. It's all good. No need. Yeah, I renounced all thoughts, all selfish thoughts and desires. I'm good. Okay, that doesn't work. But obviously, I mean, the lead up to this are the first three realities, which I think are important: the real existence, real love, real sacrifice, and now we're at the real renunciation. So it seems that the energy here that I'm perceiving is that energy of you need not worry about the clothes on your back, your next meal, all these things, because you by doing the will of the beloved, by doing the wish of the beloved, by serving people, serving him, serving his wish, you will be provided for tenfold. I mean, I don't know if that's the quote, but the energy of feeling is that, you'll be provided for. You'll be taken care of. I've always felt that as well. So it's like, you don't need to know where it's going to come from, but when you come from that real renunciation, and there's no selfish act inside of it, it's just, what would the beloved, like, coming from that place of how can I serve from myself, from me, from myself, from what I have, which might be some skill, some presence, whatever it is. How can I serve that? And I feel that is like a way to live while renouncing. It's renunciation that abandons in the midst of worldly duties. But you're doing the worldly duties is the point. But you're doing them as if you were serving the master. You're not doing them for you anymore. That seems like the message here. You're not doing it for you anymore. And that's the feeling I get from a lot of Baba lovers as well. It's just like, they're not really doing it for them anymore. Even though if you were to take Baba out of it, it would be like, well, yeah, you are. But it seems that they've changed their perception of it to, I'm doing this for Baba. Like, I'm taking care of my life for him because he's given this to me as a precious jewel, and he wants me to take care of my responsibilities and keep in the back of my mind. And so it just feels like, okay, and then the beauty of that is that we are always taken care of. You say, but if I don't take care of the responsibilities, well, you have to take responsibility and do the things you need to do. But if you don't do them from a place of renunciation, I have a feeling that things get very difficult because they're for you. And you never really end, you kind of just keep going. I don't know when you ever ends, actually. So, but at least for the master, there's this sense of, there's finality there. It's like, this is for him. This is for him. I'm doing the best that I can here for him, for the master. And then, so then this is something that comes into the whole play. The disease of selfishness in mankind will need a cure that is not only universal in application, but drastic in nature. Selfishness is so deep-rooted that it can be eradicated only by being attacked from all sides. Real peace and happiness will dawn spontaneously when selfishness is purged. The peace and happiness that comes from self-giving love are permanent. Even the worst sinner can become a great saint if he has the courage and sincerity to invite drastic and complete change of heart. And it just feels like that's it. That's it. The peace and happiness that come from self-giving love are permanent. So coming back here, the only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. And so how do you do that? You do that by serving the master, right? And then Because service to the master is an ordeal which tries the body, mind, and spirit. The body suffers, the mind is tormented, but the spirit of the selfless servant of the master experiences the bliss of true satisfaction. So not only in your renunciation can you experience true satisfaction, but you can also experience a permanent peace and happiness. And obviously you don't do it for those. I don't think any of us do it for those reasons, because in some sense, service to the master doesn't mean he's going to make your life sunshine and rainbows. It's actually, I don't know why any of us choose that path. It doesn't make any sense, because our life doesn't actually get better. Sometimes it gets harder, but in some sense it's just so much more fulfilling, and it's so much more, this just feels so much more full when I do it for Baba, when I'm doing it and thinking in the back of my mind, okay, this is for him. This is my day. This is it's all given by him, and it's going back to him. Everything is literally him, and there's nothing else inherently important about it. So just take care of the daily business, however that may be for me, for me. And I'm not walking around just going, oh yeah, I don't exist, and then just doing whatever and going and, but it's more like, no, he exists through me, acknowledging that he is the only one that exists. So how could you live? And the beauty of this is that these realities, they're teaching us, I feel it's teaching me how to exist in a true view, in the truth. How it all works, at least. This is cosmology. I mean, this is real. This is how life doesn't stand still. Life's not standing still. It's this rushing river. So these 7 realities seem to be unfolding a sense of how, like, the current of that river that we have to either be aligned with or struggle against. But I mean, your struggle is very worthless, because somehow it's not going to make a difference, obviously. So the only real renunciation, that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. So it seems like the way we do that is by service to him, but also, yeah, just to do it for him, to really do everything for him, and to think, what would Baba want of me right now? How would he, you get a feeling, but how do you get that feeling? You have to kind of renounce yourself in that moment and think, okay, well, if Baba was sitting here with me, what would I feel? What am I feeling in my heart? And that's like, definitely when he's here, our actions can be in that renunciation. It almost seems that way. So simple that it is possible to live a life where we are able to, yeah, take care of responsibilities. You don't become a vegetable, but somehow there is this energy of, okay, and then really what he gets is saying is renounce yourself, like, release yourself. But I say, oh well, how do I do that? It's like, well, service to the beloved, service to the master. And he's going to give you he's going to give you some suffering, but it's his suffering. You don't think of it as not my suffering anymore. It's a little bit of his work, his universal work. And I don't know how it feels to you, and then I suddenly feel connected to something greater, because I feel, okay, well, even my minute little suffering right now of whatever is happening is so much bigger than me. And it's my way of maybe even taking some of the burden from him, so that he doesn't have to go through it. It's like there's something in it now that is so much more fulfilling. And he says that, right? He says that that kind of Yeah, the real peace and happiness will dawn spontaneously when selfishness is purged. The peace and happiness that comes from self-giving love are permanent. You think, well, what would Baba want me to do? He would want me to love this person. He would want me to care this person. He would want me to hear this person. He would want me to just see this person. And then somehow that, whatever comes from that, is so much more lasting and long. It's just, it's giving, from this universal energy, from him, which is just, yeah, I mean, there's a reason we're all looking at him. So I mean, that's that. And yeah, I mean, in some sense it has to be abandoned. You have to be abandoned. And I know that maybe it's something like a funny perspective, because I'm definitely more on the side of like, well, yeah, give it to Baba, but maybe someone hearing this might say, like, maybe new to this idea of giving it to the beloved or doing anything for the master. It's like, it's not complicated. I don't think it's so special that you got to suddenly wear a bunch of mala beads and you're like, you're his and you have Baba t-shirts on and all this. And I don't know what people do to like show themselves or to be Babas, but I think it's really a lot of just what would your heart do in any given situation. There's a lot of Baba lovers that don't know his name. So it's like real renunciation. The way I would translate it, I mean, this is just my view, right? I don't know. Would just be to abandon, really not to necessarily get rid of your mind, but to bring it into your heart and somehow make subordinate the mind to the heart in some sense, to be able to go, okay, what would the most loving thing be? It might be hard action, but what would the most loving action be? And what would the most loving desire, what would the most loving thought forward to this person? Everything is giving. Everything is like a river. It's all flowing through us. So it's like, what could I give right now that would be the highest form of love? That would be in service to his cause, which would be to manifest compassion and joy to others. I mean, if there's one thing it's like that's the rushing river that just enfolds everybody around us if we give it. And it's somehow beautiful because it's untapped potential. I don't know how deep that well goes, but it seems that there's always water there. Yeah. So I think that's all I gotta say. These things just go deeper and deeper and deeper, and it takes some time to get into it, and then pretty, yeah. So okay, we leave it there. Next video will be the 5th. We're getting through them. It's exciting. All right, Jai Baba. Ciao.